Welcome back, ladies. Okay, we love our shoes, don't we? Especially the heels. And joining me now is Dr. Steve Gubernick with the Joint Chiropractic. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So we are here to talk about why these necessarily are not such a good thing for us. I know it's not what we want to hear, but it is fact. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so what does the damage come from these shoes when we wear them consistently? What is the damage?
Well, in theory, the longest running theory is that when you elevate the heel, it causes your weight to shift forward, which therefore causes you to lean back, and it creates this kind of like a sway back where you get a big arch in the low back, and that'll cause your joints to jam together and it create some of the back pain. However, I'll tell you, when you look at the research on it, it's very conflicting. I mean, there's lots of studies that show that even when the heel is on, it doesn't actually change the curve in the low back like everyone is led to believe.
Right.
So a lot of it.
So what's happening?
Well, a lot of it comes down to if your posture is already, curved like that.
If you've already got, which I do, by the way.
Which a lot of people do, and a lot of people don't too, because sitting can flatten that curve as well. So if you already have a big curve and you put the heel on, and then you further increase that, that could cause some of the pain. But if you don't have a great curve in the low back as it is, and you put the heel on, in theory as well, it could also help your curvature a little bit too.
So
a lot of women wear heels every day and never have pain.
Right. So it's a mixed bag. Let's take a look at some of these shoes that we brought here today and kind of walk me through what works and what doesn't.
Sure.
So let's start with this one. I mean, this is kind of obvious that this wouldn't be the best thing for your body.
No, it's not. It's obviously not a natural position that the foot sits in. However, when you look at this, say, versus this, if you compare the two, this one here has a wider platform, so you're a little bit more balanced. They're both elevating the heel. However, this one here causes the toes to really compress together. There's not a lot of space there. So when the toes start to really come together, that's where a lot of the bunions and some of the toe pain comes from.
And you're talking about the heel. Obviously, there's not a lot of support with a thin heel like this, too.
Sure, not a lot of support there, and plus you have a little bit of a wider toe base with this one, which can help with the balance as well.
One of the things I love, and you saw my shoe at the top of the show, is the fact that you have these platforms on a shoe like this, which I think actually helps a little bit.
Yes, it's a more stable base for you to walk on versus balancing with every step, which working to balance is a good thing as well. However, hours of that adds up.
Okay, so you're saying this is okay, but just not for a long time.
Exactly.
If you're going to go for a long time, maybe something like a wedge?
Something like a wedge would be a lot better. Any shoe is fine for a short period of time, but if you're wearing them constantly every day, you don't want a shoe that's really taxing the body. A wedge is a lot better, it's more stable versus balancing on a toe point or on a thinner toe area. But
for some of us who are height challenged, it's very difficult for me to wear a flat for something like this. I mean, first of all, I feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
I feel extremely little. What does this do to your foot? Because it has no support whatsoever.
No, it doesn't have the support like a running shoe would. However, when you're like this, it's almost like when you're barefoot, it causes the little muscles in the foot to work, which in the long term can be very beneficial. The foot becomes more supported and stable. So what you do, someone like yourself, you have to always wear the heel. How do you offset some of that, right?
Right.
One thing you could do is there's certain stretches. For example, if you were to stand on the edge of a step or on a curb and stretch your calves.
Okay.
The better you can stretch the calves, because when the foot is elevated, like in this shoe, the calves will become very tight. And that's where a lot of the damaging effects can come from. It changes the circulation, it creates a lot of the back pain issues. So you take your daily wear of this and then do some stretching to offset that by really stretching the calves and the hamstrings and the back side of the body. That can really help you.
Okay, so a lot of stretching if you're going to continue to wear the heels. Some great advice. Thank you so much, Dr. Steve Gubernick.
Yes, thank you.
Great to see you. Thanks. And of course, you can find out more information at The Joint, Phoenix, thejoint.com, Phoenix. Thanks so much. More Morning Scramble when we come back.